Taurus, welcome to 12th House Tarot. My name is Mouse. I am your host, and this is a general reading for the week of July 15th to the 21st for Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising. Welcome back, viewers. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a subscriber. If this is your first time here, welcome, welcome, welcome. The more the merrier. Jump in. The water is fine. We do a past, present, and future spread with clarifiers for each. Info about me and what I offer is in the description. Check it out. Check it out now. Last week, the title of the reading was Manifest the Heck Out of This Week. How'd you do, Taurus? It was rough. It was rough for me. I'm a Taurus, and Taurus, obviously rising in Sun. Oops. Got a couple of several jumpers. We're going to just pop those back in somewhere. Don't take jumpers, kids. But it's been an interesting transition for me. Just navigating where I'm doing my healing work. Not finding the right space. Going back to a place that I was at before. Like using their space. This PT office that I work from. Becoming an independent contractor again instead of sole proprietor. Which is fine. You need to do that when you're basically starting over, which I am. So you got to take it all in stride, right? Knowing that whatever seed I plant now is going to flourish and grow right when it's in season. So take care of what I have now so that when the time comes, there'll be more. Kind of like the Seven of Pentacles, you know? Look at, I can't even shuffle and talk apparently. How the Seven of Pentacles has the character standing in the garden, watching the garden grow. And that's fine, but you have to also tend to the garden. You know what I'm saying, Jelly Bean? Let's see what we got going. We cut the deck three ways. And again, past, present, future, clarifiers for each. We just pull from the top of the deck. This is the Rider-Waite deck. And here we go. High Priestess. Ten of Pentacles. And the Tower. Really? Again? Sorry. Oh, Taurus. Let me just take a sip of my water here. Hold on. I muted the microphone so you didn't have to hear me gulp. All right. You know, I feel like this is a good vibe all together, even if there is a Tower here. Because with the High Priestess, she is like this all-knowing. She has so much knowledge with her, so much wisdom that she brings to the table. And, you know, I'm of a particular generation. I'm the early end of Gen X here. And this feels like just stepping into your sage, right? For me, it would represent my elder phase. So maybe there's some knowledge that you have that you're really proficient in. There's something that you know that only you can bring to the table. I want you to be able to harness that. I want you to focus in on that. And if you're not sure what it is, go ahead and, yeah, I just did this with somebody else. Go ahead and ask the people closest around you. Not necessarily what you bring to the table, because they, you know, if they're going to get snarky on you, those are not the people to ask. Ask your genuine, real peeps, okay? What qualities do you see in me that are good? What are my good attributes? What do you see me in my field doing? Or, you know, what do you see my qualities to be? And then sometimes to get just that outside perspective is really great. But for me, this is bringing in all the knowledge, wisdom, the balance, the meditation that I've been practicing for the last 30 years. That's here. That is my foundation. Going into the Ten of Pentacles, which is always us, Taurus. The Pentacles are Earth. And with the Ten of Pentacles, we're literally talking about wealth and abundance. This could be monetary, absolutely. This could be other abundance of time, of energy, of clarity, of wisdom, right? And you could, you know, I was just listening to something where if we asked for clarity and wisdom, then the monetary stuff will follow because we'll be making better choices for ourselves. And as always, oh, The Tower just means radical change. Something is changing. There is a big shift happening. So maybe it's this money. Maybe this is a huge windfall, and then all of a sudden you're like, Shazam, right? Like, I'm not a financial advisor, but if you were inclined to play a quick pick or a scratchy, go for it. But there feels like this might be playing off of each other right now. Like this financial stuff that's showing up is going to be changing your life. Let's see what the clarifiers say, because that whole story that I just shared in the last 5.5 minutes could be completely different based on the clarifiers. Like Spirit might have a different answer for all of this, right? So this is my interpretation of the cards, how they're falling out, obviously looking through my lens, trying to make it connect to you. So let's see what happens. All right. We have the Knight of Wands for the Knight of the King of Swords, and the Three of Swords. All right. So the Knight of Wands is about moving forward for sure. The path, you've got a clear path ahead of you. This is a fire sign. These two, the swords are air. This knight, he may have been somebody in your life. I'm not 100% sure, but there was definitely a heartache that occurred. And this could be the person that caused it. This could be a person that you leaned on. This could be your internal Knight of Swords. So this is why we often say, take how it resonates, right? I can't tell you the umpteenth stories that this can relay to. Only you can say, how does this relate in my life? Okay, what is the lens that you're looking at these cards through? I could tell you their meaning and how I interpret that. But there's definitely a loss that happened, but it's not something that's going to end your world. So, whatever. Cracking myself up. This King of Swords, though, is definitely a knowledgeable person, educated. They are cerebral, not so much emotional. So this is more of the thinking man, the educated man. And by man, I don't mean specifically gender. All right. It's an energy that could be just as much you as it is someone else outside of your life. But there is definitely a path moving forward. So maybe the masculine energy is a doing energy. Right, the feminine energy is taking in news and information. The masculine is, what do I do with that and how do I move forward? So maybe you're actually moving forward and leaving things behind that aren't serving you, right? Using this education from the High Priestess, using this knowledge you have from the King, moving forward, leaving behind this heartache, feels, and walking into your prosperity. Like, yay, thank you, right? Your future self is like, what are we doing? Where are we going? Oh, we're going over here. Let's do it. Okay. It's warm here today. All right. You get the running dialogue of my life as I do these readings in my living room. All right. 10 of Pentacles. Let's see what else we have. We have the 8. Look, you're walking away from something, which is great. And as this card has been coming up, I'm going to say 2/3 of the readings out of the 9. You're the 9th reading. No, you're the 10th reading that I'm doing. And out of this card keeps showing up. There's a lot of walking away. If you're walking away from one thing, you're walking towards another, obviously, right? Like, let's be realistic. The earth does keep spinning. We have the Page of Wands. All right, so we had the Knight of Wands over here. Now we have the Page of Wands. And this is good luck. This is good opportunity. Walking towards that opportunity in abundance, apparently. And then when we get there, we need a little resty rest with the Four of Swords. This is, again, maybe you've been working so hard as this King of Swords over here that it is time for that rest. Because what's happening, and as Abraham Hicks would say, you have to get ready to be ready. What's happening here, and if this Tower moment is indeed inevitable, we need to keep this knowledge and this power from the King and the High Priestess. Take this knowledge and information with us as we move forward here. Rest when you need to rest. I'm looking at maybe balance in your life. If there needs to be a time to sleep, a time to read, a time for yoga, a time for working out, a time for walking, a time for nature, then a time for laughter, a time for friendship, a time for relationships, a time for, work. Like, there is the balance of taking care of yourself, allowing the intuition to come in and information and news, and then there's time for action. You take a time for rest in the middle of this week, the 15th to the 21st. And we have a full moon coming up in Capricorn, whatever that might mean for you. I'm not an astrologer, so go and listen to somebody else around that. But we are resting before this change happens, which is fine. It's like when you leave a job. You give your 2 weeks notice, and a lot of times what people do is their last day is on a Friday and they start the new job that Monday. No, please do yourself the favor. Give the 2 weeks notice. Don't give the 2 weeks notice and take the 2 weeks. But take a week off. Take 10 days off. Take something off in between the old and the new so that you can literally reset your nervous system. Right? If there's a transition that happened, maybe you're off for the summer. Maybe you're on a hiatus. Maybe you need to take a hiatus. Maybe you're taking a sabbatical. Maybe, does your work allow for a sabbatical? That sounds delicious. So think about it. But there's this huge change coming up. Let's see what this is about. Chariot, we're moving. Whatever the heck you are in the chariot, giddy up, let's go. The Seven of Swords and the Two of Cups. So the Seven of Swords gives me a small pause in that someone might be wanting to do ill will. There might be an undercurrent of that in this. However, I mean, maybe you're going into relationship with somebody in a new business or a new opportunity here with this Two of Cups. This means equals, you guys. This is equals. There's a balance there. There's a maturity, an emotional maturity with the cups that are happening. So this sword thing right here might be overthinking the logistics of it. And in doing so, you might be missing out on what you're actually signing or creating. So maybe get an extra set of eyes on it before you agree to something as you move forward, whether it's a lease or a business agreement or just a relationship, right? Like, what are you actually agreeing to? Because this is a symbiotic relationship. It feels really good. Like, there's a balance here. So this just gives you a little heads up of like, you are moving quickly. Make sure you dot your I's and cross your T's with this new change coming up, okay? So don't get blinded by the light. You can fill in the rest of that song. We have the Nine of Wands underneath. This is the Wounded Warrior. This tells me that you are ready for this change, that you've already given your dues, right? You've already been through the gauntlet. It's time for this change. It's time for an easier life. It's time for an abundant life and a prosperous life. And you could take all this knowledge. Now, this 9 does not have to turn into the 10 where you're dragging the wands with you. What I want you to do is just take the knowledge, take what you need, leave the rest. Take the knowledge. Nobody could take that away from you, kids, okay? Let them take your house and your car and your possessions. But the knowledge, they cannot take that away from you. You can do this all over again in any town, any city, right? So just know that you have a gift and a talent, and it's sitting right here, and it's supporting you in this transition. All right. Them's a lot of words. So there's still change coming, kids. There's still change coming. You got this. Be balanced. Draw on the energy of the knowledge and the know-how. It's bookending your reading here. Dot your I's, cross your T's, yeah? All right. Consider liking and subscribing. I like being here. I like doing this with you. And leave me a comment. Let me know how it's going. What are you going through? What's the big change for you? Let me hold space for you. Let me give you Reiki. If you got to ask for it. You got to put it in the comment. Say, send me some Reiki. And I will. All right. Or just put a heart. Put a heart. You don't even have to type anything out. Just put a heart or some little sticker emoji, something, a little smiley face, a little happy something, something. All right. I'll see you later. Have a great week. See you next week.